Game of Thrones, 7 seasons in 7 minutes. Robert Baratheon rules the 7 kingdoms of Westeros after killing Rhaegar Targaryen for abducting the woman he wanted to marry, Lyanna Stark. His wife, Cersei Lannister, has 3 illegitimate children with her brother Jaime, who breaks Bran's back to keep the incest a secret. Bran's father, Ned Stark, brother of Lyanna, was just declared Hand of the King by Robert. Ned's wife, Lady Catelyn, accuses Tyrion, brother of Jaime and Cersei, who's about to be executed at the Vale by Lysa before being saved by Bronn's blade. When Robert is killed by a boar, or maybe Cersei, Ned reaches out to Stannis, Robert's brother, to inform him on the illegitimacy of Joffrey's throne and inviting him to claim the Iron Throne. But Lord Baelish betrays him and Ned is publicly executed by King Joffrey. Robb wants to avenge his father in war, but his mom makes a deal with Walder Frey, the wedding between their kids, in exchange for a passage on his lands to attack the Lannisters. Jaime is captured by Robb, while at Winterfell the Lannisters fight the Starks. Arya manages to escape thanks to Syrio Forel's sacrifice and flees from King's Landing with Yoren, who forces her to look like a boy. Sansa is tortured by Joffrey and the Hound. Jon joins the Wall, gets Longclaw, and becomes friends with Sam. Winter is coming, the wildlings are closer, White Walkers are back, and no one knows where Benjen went. In Essos, Daenerys Targaryen submits her brother Viserys, who wants to join forces to claim the throne that belonged to his brother, and forces her to marry Khal Drogo, making her a Khaleesi. Viserys is given the golden crown he wanted, but Khal Drogo dies not too long after. Daenerys makes a pyre for Drogo, her 3 dragon eggs, and the slave that didn't save him. Eventually, she decides to walk in herself, rising through the flames as the mother of dragons. During the war against the Lannisters, Robb falls in love with Talisa, breaking the agreement with Walder Frey. Theon goes back to the Iron Islands, rejoins the Greyjoy, and is forced to take Winterfell. Bran and Rickon manage to run away just in time. Stannis wants to claim the Iron Throne, but Renly is determined to stop him. Melisandre kills Renly with a spirit conjured by the dark magic, or whatever you want to call that. Jaime is taken by Brienne to King's Landing for an exchange of hostages with Sansa and Arya, promised by Littlefinger. Stannis fights the Lannister, but Tyrion gets an unexpected win thanks to a clever move, even if he almost gets killed. Joffrey decides to marry Marjorie while Myrcella goes to Dorne. Arya is still running away but gets captured. She protects Gendry and saves the assassin Zagar, who will owe her. Dany, now without an army, approaches the 13s at Karth. She looks for an alliance to invade Westeros, but they don't support her. Pre steals her 3 dragons. Dany burns him alive, sacks Xaro's palace, and now has a new fleet. In the meantime, the Guardians of the Wall go north. Qhorin forces Jon to join the Wildlings. At first he doesn't want to, but then he falls in love and meets Mance Rayder. The White Walkers get closer and closer. On their way to King's Landing, Brienne and Jaime are captured by Locke, who cuts Jaime's hand. Theon loses Winterfell, is abused by Ramsay Snow like there's no tomorrow, and refuses Yara's help. Bran meets Jojen and is determined to find the 3-eyed raven beyond the wall. Tywin forces Tyrion to marry Sansa, but Littlefinger promises to help her run away. The Hound finds Arya and wants to take her to the Twins to get a ransom, but at the Twins, Walder Frey is taking his revenge on the Starks for not respecting the agreement. Talisa, Robb, and Catelyn are killed during the Red Wedding. The Hound protects Arya and wants to take her to her aunt. Sam and Gilly are attacked by a White Walker, but Sam kills him with dragon glass. Jon climbs the wall with the Wildlings, but his true purpose is revealed and he's injured by her grip before he goes back to the Guardians of the Night. Across the sea, Daenerys has a new army built with the Barristan, Daria, Missandei, and the Unsullied. She frees the slaves of Atasper and Yunkai and trains herself to reign the 7 kingdoms. Joffrey is poisoned by the Tyrells, but Cersei accuses Tyrion. Oberyn takes his side but gets killed by Clegane, who is turned to an evil zombie on Cersei's power. Jaime lets his brother go. While running away, Tyrion kills Shae and Tywin and finally flees to Pontos with Varys' help. Meanwhile, King Tommen is seduced by Marjorie. Sansa runs away with Littlefinger to the Vale, where Baelish lies, marries, and kills Lysa. Brienne finds Arya, fights the Hound, and lets him die alone. Arya disappears and boards the Braavos with Agar's coin. The Guardians fight the Wildlings while Jon goes beyond the wall. He tries to kill Mance Rayder, but is saved by Stannis and Davos. Daenerys exiles Jorah, conquers Myrene to practice being a queen, and traps the dragons to bring back serenity to her new reign. Sansa is forced by Littlefinger to marry Ramsay, but manages to escape Winterfell and the torture thanks to Theon after Brienne tried to help her. Jaime goes to Dorne with Bronn. He wants to save Myrcella, but on their way back, she gets killed by the snakes. Melisandre convinces Stannis to sacrifice his daughter to get the power. He agrees, but doesn't succeed. His army is destroyed by Ramsay, and he gets killed by Brienne. Cersei tries to trick the Sorrels, helped by the High Sparrow, but ends up in prison after the Walk of Shame and promises revenge. Arya arrives to Braavos, joins the House of Black and White, learns to lie, loses sight, and is trained to become no one. Jon is the new Lord Commander of the Wall and goes to Hardhome, where he learns that the Longclaw can kill the White Walkers. Back to the Castle Black, he gets killed by the rebels. Daenerys fights her rebels, takes Tyrion as advisor, and exiles Jorah once again. When attacked by the Sons of Harpies, she runs away with Drogon. Sansa rides to the wall where Melisandre is bringing Jon back to life. Jon kills his assassins, leaves Guardians of the Night, goes back to Winterfell with Sansa. Ramsay's now in charge of all the kingdoms of the north, but during the War of the Bastards, he's defeated by Jon with the help of Littlefinger's army invoked by Sansa. Jon is now king of the north. Arya ends her training, fights the Waif, leaves the Faceless Men, and kills Walder Frey. She becomes a new Arya, a confident one. After the three-eyed raven teaches Bran to see beyond time, Bran gets trapped in a vision that allows the king of the night to locate and attack them, but Hodor holds the door. Benjen takes Bran and Mira to the wall where Bran has a vision and finds out that Jon is the son of Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen. The Hound is still alive. Jaime and Bronn destroys Riverrun, but the Blackfish prefers to die rather than surrender. Sam and Gilly steal the Valyrian sword of his family and travel to Old Town to learn from the Masters. Cersei detonates literally everyone. After Tommen kills himself for losing Marjorie, she proclaims herself Queen of the Seven Kingdoms. Daenerys, back in the Dothraki Sea, burns alive her enemies and goes back to Meereen with a new army. Finding out about Gerard's disease forces him to go find a cure. After destroying the enemy's fleet, she makes an alliance with Theon and Yara, while Varys secures her support of Tyrell and Martell. After many years, the Mother of Dragons is now ready to reach Westeros. After killing all the Freys, Arya goes to Winterfell where she meets Sansa, now in charge, and executes Littlefinger. Sam advises Jon to find Dragonglass, and after curing Gerard, decides to go to Winterfell where he meets Bran, who became the Three-Eyed Raven. At Dragonstone, Daenerys and Tyrion make a plan to defeat the Lannisters without destroying King's Landing, but Euron, new ally of Cersei, takes down Yara's fleet. The Unsullied are tricked at Casterly Rock, and the Lannisters conquer High Garden, taking away Dany's allies. Jaime poisons Olenna, who reveals to be Joffrey's assassin. Daenerys decides to take matters into her own hands and melts away the Lannisters' army. Jon explains to Daenerys that the White Walkers are a serious threat and wants to capture a White to convince the Lannister on a temporary alliance against the common enemy. Beyond the wall, Jon finds out that killing a White Walker, all the Whites that he controls will die with him. But during the mission, Viserion gets killed, and after being brought back to life, he joins the army of the dead. Cersei, supposedly pregnant, is now ready to reveal her relationship with Jaime. She pretends to understand the importance of the war, but is actually planning to leave everyone behind to take the Seven Kingdoms. Jaime, disgusted by his sister, decides to ride north to respect the alliance. While Jon and Daenerys become intimate, Bran and Sam find out that the wedding between Lyanna Stark and Rhaegar Targaryen makes Aegon Jon Snow Targaryen the rightful heir to the Iron Throne. In the north, the King of the Night reaches and destroys the wall thanks to Viserion's fire. The undead are now unstoppable and walk toward the Seven Kingdoms. The most epic war in the history of Westeros is coming.